Barcelona ne Dortmund, and Dortmund ne Barcelona to miss Yakany. And then me, I was of the opinion that Barcelona because I trash you, but in the game, it seems that Barcelona Kasa yesterday now money game them because the kind of performance or moko dana di o head o dana di o fie ni dom ko dana di e o Dortmund wa the kire say enra ankasa no na mentality and everything was down. Obetias yes Timo a washe for first leg now we second leg against an opponent this season when your issues what changing coach players no to be any available will definitely bring that sort of a mentality and then nam to abasa and to me anko we need that game but yam fabi biam from free Dortmund really played well yesterday and they made sure say they had the results by going out and making sure say one of the favorite to meet major Champions League tells you the kind of performance Dortmund for Edanadi. But this is also something that Encantere Basafone say if they want to play and go fight the Champions League, they need not to be given such performances because almost such performances will give room to teams to know that we have one or two things that we can use against them if any Barcelona. And if we use that against Barcelona, we are definitely going to give them one hell of a night. I think that yesterday's performance wasn't one performance. Nabasa for Nepe. Mahuza Basa for be a portion blame to some of their players. They feel that when some of their players in a park, that's why they don't give their all and all that. But this is the Champions League, and sometimes mentality how Wabe career home now the game tells you the kind of results and yesterday was evident. The kind of performance team my friend of Barcelona Danadi because in the year 2025, now your performance of Madanadi. And when your man Chesney and about table no so answer to me but none of them me Baso and Ra team friend of Barcelona answer to me lose you game they've qualified to the next stage in the Champions League. That is something that they need to make sure say or more delay no matter what because this is the Champions League. At the moment, I will lose concentration for a bit, it's something that one we reach Mama was not in my and Basafono, not or more general code through mind. They say, Neoma room, I do more firm, maybe no need Baba Tuomo, and it tells you the kind of gamer or more and so it me a done at the end. So, now you think that it's all said and done, dusted, everything is going as planned, no cool the mouth team now. Yesterday gave you another retrospect. So you need to look at your team and know that there are certain things you guys need to do right. And then right at kudos to team my friend here, Borussia Dortmund for that kind of performance. Or more and me Danadi and the Barcelona. They are going home, but they are going home with their heads up. With that kind of performance this season, we're giving the Barcelona. If you go into the history of Barcelona, you won't get by players your bombing so me a part of the greatest set of players or many the kind of numbers of Barcelona or no ends with it tells you the kind of performance in this year's Champions League. Uko Borussia Dortmund players are Romano strikers are Romano team a single season he was able to score more than 10 goals in the Champions League. He's been able to do it. Wabu Refen Lewandowski and now he's been scoring good for the teams that I can't moment. Look at Erling Haaland for Manchester City, what he's been able to do with the form, with the hype, with everything in the Champions League in Borussia Dortmund's jersey. When Manchester goes now, Guras with that 11 goals also. I think say Yemon Abaso for that 13 goals. Next was Shakra bro goals now. Or more yes.
San Ricardo now Kano. Yan Kano was saying about Guras ni Jumano is indeed a fantastic job. Baru di winning na mema my chef also enjoy pictures if you better boy. But of course Madrid for no or ultras no. Or Masha said of course Masha said given na say na mama mai na bemo na ya and ordinary who jina ye say din komo aba Africa players or my bomb more in the year bit me bonidi that can't because of the numbers he's been able to provide. When a record so when no man
what Kennedy going to the Bundesliga, failing for the first time, going out, trying to get things done, coming back, and now Obo Dortmund, giving that kind of goals, and Obo in the Bundesliga tells you, say, he's been a man at what me a year, man. A Chelsea says, oh, first one, a failure. Santos na yebiem Gurasi achre, and so many players achre say o first one say o failure we betimi aye no aye ne biem say o fail na usua ade say o kona oba you come a stronger person and a lesson learned person to about me adwumani and yemo Gurasi abaso basafo need to also know say no man ko years are they need to make one or two adjustments in their team and no call me no ma enso betima ko ye enso atimi e de amom kwaku and urom Aston Villa ne Paris Saint-Germain. This was a game now me so was a game never call extra time. At a point in time I felt Donnarumma came to save the day for Team FN Paris Saint-Germain. But this is the kind of night you need your goalkeeper to give you. A goalkeeper, we've seen him play at the highest level. These are some of the things I would hear from him. He is one person a lot of times when the stakes are high will disappointed Team FN Paris Saint-Germain. But yesterday he was able to make sure or more sounding performance and they are qualifying from Babiano and and it's something that you're more than a rumor Baso. But Goku Yepo Aston Villa for Abaso. Ye can your man Unai Emery and so Team FN Aston Villa. He's taking Aston Villa from a place no me ordinary to a place now say oh more day in the Premier League, in the Champions League. You make sure so this was a team now banda Steven Gerrard Enkoye. Unai Emery came in and we've seen the transformation. We've seen what he's been able to do. And he is telling me something, Goku. And your coach is meant for big clubs. Yes. And your coach is say big club big club they are coaches they are meant for average teams and they make wonders with them. Look at him. Wa coach Arsenal for no pound because when team anya adwuma no. Wa coach team you find Paris Saint-Germain. They wanted the Champions League badly when team anya amfa momo. But look at the average team he's been able to coach. Valencia, Sevilla, Villarreal, now Aston Villa. But he's been able to leave a mark there. Those average teams, at least one cup normal Baku in Ukraine, you see that he gave them something that is monumental. So our man who say coach is nibo pressure back with coaching big clubs, and yadia or more ends with me under that sort of pressure. But when you give them teams players, average players, more be better players, and then teams will be coming around. No matter teams more. I think that Unai Emery, one of the coaches, are watching over and over again. Why yet in the Chrome Spain, you've seen what he's been able to do, and so my friend in England. So I think that he's one coach. Say and you'll be a team coach big team. And yesterday he really made sure Paris Saint-Germain for San Kaka beam because they were thinking no matter two come maybe some other two be man because if you look at the game now her faces Paris Saint-Germain for but Aston Villa a lesson for team and Paris Saint-Germain and they've been able to break that barrier because so your team na so lead not a team different sometimes I never something so yesterday in the game now team who said they were not themselves because not slow kakra and so more because so 3-1 now call in the second leg now shape 2 goals now you're back in the game near better taking now get to a point a 1 goal per and a team here to make sure we level things now pressure no also single time bia na omo ye o attack no say na pressure no was so it tells you say sadia na wa form no e yade na e ball punum na e hunu now na e mo say enen so betimi aye da you be say lose sa advantage no be man na but yesterday they were able to make sure say they overcome it and now they are going a step further with the kind of team in crowd what we've said about team of Paris Saint-Germain and what they've been able to do this season on by England any England opponents are not boni no the match level but yesterday Aston Villa making sure they are making sure England teams and Aston Villa so to me every Champions League they are going home but they are going home with their heads up. They are telling their fans, this is something you guys should respect more when we get the opportunity again to play in the Champions League. And now Emery and Man Channel will go home with their heads up. They've been able to live to the building. They've been able to make sure say every single thing that a man for they've been able to achieve. Nobody thought say they will be here. Or Mwankasan Croft no they are playing the Champions League. And Europa League anthem. No, it tells you say they are with the Champions, they are with the Europa League. Of course. Yes, because they are not used to playing the Champions League. They are used to playing the Europa League. So at this big stage against Paris Saint-Germain near bar, the DJ will definitely go in and play Europa League song. And it tells you that no man so medruha or man so medruha. But what they've been able to achieve for themselves, but they've won games. If you look at their budget, if you look at the set of players in Kromo, they've been able to win against Bayern Munich. They've been able to win against Paris Saint-Germain. Oh, I have Villa Parker. It tells you the kind of job so kudos to them. Paris Saint-Germain in their team, they got to do 1 or 2 adjustments. And yes, sir, say they see only their favorite, and here and to the big game today.
All right, also, but but on the score line as we monitor from afar. Premier League, Good Stars are enemy, the what joining is Akala as well. Okay, the old joining is CCI still the Santiago Bernabeu. And Vaz is here saying a hotel. To Oma we no crano. Facebook no one more enjoy Kakem's with the new He said, and I looked at the camera and Oma to swim and to say, I is here. Madrid for Oma to and almost almost to Mukurante. No Mutum da is there no qua? See this here. The current state names a pitch and also to the Kokuso Dasopa and Omami or Trasano. Now you're ready. There's a matter for fans and they go much moon tempa papa. Winning news video like Casamabia. I can walk around here. Then the pop we will still model train team is a team never ban. I'm about to come on the story now because I'm some of the sound system because vantage points. Oh, park inside post naturally. I had to be very near Bob sound to do with here. Pressure never no, but I'm not pictures. I'm qualified. I give a hand up ultras in the video in the man. Now I am fair no son to so. Now you Ricardo Penama money a bit barresa record winner is it I didn't community be I new team the Cocoje. Beyond GB down on Yabobo so but we don't trust video near the Beba. Aha, the almost moon tempa. We've been a megaphone. Now grown on we didn't know. Almost moon tempa. You know, I think now we will be now Tifie. Now we show no. Now we tie. Now a lot of times you can't remember that now on Tiasia. These are not the reasons. Kwaku, it's very difficult say. Now Busha Dortmund for back side by bond. They first said they are going to turn things around. No minutes are GD. This is a team one last week. Oma what and Arsenal for the show 3. Nkebet we cry more. Say Kenya Tibo court one Nkebet my more. But in a week, yes, the fans now what pepe. This same team with their fans, their players, everybody or yet close to Real Madrid say they are going to turn things around. It's only Real Madrid will give you such a vibe. And open the game, if not a Real Madrid and a Arsenal against any team and got 3-0 and got game me off. But look at the bars around this match. Regardless of the outing, UGD say oh yeah Basani, oh yeah Arsenal ni, who will be out time Real Madrid. You know say Arsenal the 3 goals na come and about. But when you find one sign see book D and say there be team we are Arsenal for qualify. I don't think I can say Real Madrid is the greatest when it comes to the Champions League. Bet me at Champions League, medals so much Marco 11 game Arsenal from Park and so and still I will be careful. Yes, it tells you the team one or Kakobo. You may say no a team that didn't share the trade. This is football. The beer team see Arsenal team without a striker was able to get 3 goals against Team FN Real Madrid last week. Why are you there and say you said Real Madrid can't get 3 goals with Mbappe, with Vinicius Junior, with Jude Bellingham?
on a normal ground, on a football level, on a footballing terms. Arsenal with Mikel Merino as their number 9. Technical Rice scoring 2 fantastic free kicks. We're able to score Real Madrid 3 goals without an out-and-out striker. But when I sit here and tell you, say, Real Madrid makes me 10 things around that, you feel, say, I'm exaggerating. I just don't understand. But this is the Champions League. Real Madrid are here time and time again. Oh my year, and they know say, they can do it. And we don't know what's happening. Even as we speak, Arsenal players no crowd knows this is a match that they feel say because with this, we are not penny phone will make sure they don't see such pictures. But Italy
no, but Uncle Sisia, and the Madrid Bass no. This is already a supporters that you give it. Then what you know now, and then I'm saying no one age.
So we are playing now. Real Madrid Bass, you are not thinking about who. You are thinking about fans, you know, their belief and making sure that you are delivering for them. And then I'll call you what you may now know what I say. And so you Carlo Ancelotti or pep talk careful. Match we. So we motivated players. Match I have 4 motivated players, simple as how much we. Because on one can say, or my team like friend of Real Madrid down. Say Arsenal I show almost 3. The only tonight Real Madrid player bet marry the move. Near do best players of see academy Real Madrid. 10 a year around and I say no more my year. Come back out of my year. You don't count this game. When you are able to win this game against Arsenal, now qualifier, what's cemento, what through the history books of Real Madrid because a derby county in the year 1970 and they were able to do Sadiano. If you are able to write your name in the history books of Real Madrid, one so and no man with Manchester City with better and quality
street in your more train bus. We know Madrid acquire so more hotel honor. Eben Hanopa. And we need a street now. Pongon and Namu petrol. It was a Pongon and Namu petrol. She we near there. Now, no football here, too. And around time, 6:26. Yes. Spain, no Madrid, and I heard time we need support. That is support we don't need here.
And because I Real Madrid, and now who are hero. Real Madrid, no customer, and who are hero. These are these are some of the things that Real Madrid who are because all my journey come on American say Real Madrid actually 3. And I'll give you to about 10 things around a match in a live match in Kenya match. But yet because of Real Madrid, they have believed so much in that match and a big match. But they are still 3 now returning home. Can you match be and looking at the fact that no man remember the akum times I hope remember the akum. Now I saw no to me 10 things around. No call you near show 3. I see 5 times they've been able to overturn one pay, but still they have the belief there. No meet me. This is Real Madrid. On paper, Arsenal qualification. On paper, Arsenal qualification, but the first 15 minutes of this game are crucial. So Thomas Tepata and Kobo Nibinoa, Bobo Nibia, may catch off straight forward. Arsenal be film. So Thomas Tepata are Bobo Nibi. Nasa was free more. A straight qualification for Team FN, I have Real Madrid. And Kwaku, that first 15 minutes, no, are very critical. And say Arsenal for the players, the coaches, and whoever. So I picture when I have the change. You find say fans in the but the moment the players back to who say something goes in favor of Real Madrid in TNA match, and there is a possibility. I don't even see how much me qualify no. Because first 15 minutes no, Real Madrid for me did that a being see that. Did that TV that so Arsenal player TV that was yes.
Group chain we know.
Chain bass no. And this not take it they'll be going to the stadium. Match no. So it tells you that they are ready for action. They know say today a do or die for them.
And I only also made the Bakuya tomorrow. Mama Santiago been about Nanimsi and yet acquires only and on checking on you.
So we are watching. We are very fine. We are watching.
Now so I will teach you say I
over me. Oh, in Tikaku Champions League no money fair. Champions League money identity. I mean, now Banam me spending a lot of time. I can foreign ball who has a master own tiasia. come to Ghana, make sure say you are doing such a thing. I will talk about it. This time many about Champions League, no. People are gathered outside there. First 15 minutes are very crucial. And Mikel Arteta, what he needs to do, the second half, open up and play against Real Madrid. They are the masters of the Champions League. They are way ahead of Team FL, Real Madrid, Arsenal.
So they Santiago Bernabeu. We didn't give it what copyright.
Because me Cote d'Ivoire cry me far park me na share me Philippe and Santiago
why? O there so be but Madrid for ni hu Arsenal for no too much.
And the man dey you scary.
Image the video dey cry say the sharp you trap view the banner. So scary.
All my players ni heavy. Because my players ni heavy.
A lot of spirit.
And found how o Messi abo na do that level. Arsenal team no, 60% guys not about from. We be 80% you are. They've never played a game at this magnitude. Nanka didn't Arsenal name remember about 3 matches play. You can always remember they are consistent at this level.
But Arsenal
can. It at this point, mean can say Arsenal your favorite to win the game that year. I remember back to back in this game. It's something that mean to but on paper, Arsenal looks like they are qualifying. But trust Real Madrid say, "Omo ka so no be ya, o betimi aye." Enkofu eji bibia di o. Se ba se yenko na se yenko ye nneoma na enti mewi no bi nka se me wo ha ndie ni na wo ko ye kre ko ya abre o. Enti omo chi bibia di and they believe in bibia ye ka kire o. To omo say o betani ade na it looks likely. But Arsenal on paper say me kan a team that they looks like they are qualifying. Real Madrid is a team that can so bet 10 things around that. Bet me 10 things around 4-0 for Real Madrid. Ain't me bad results.
And for Madrid in there.
If the Madrid air qualifier 4-0 bet me qualify.
Arsenal
but say tisi in Kenya a drawn game for Real Madrid. And they know that ends bet me Abonti into the day.
Mama gave it Mama Bayern supporters. Mama the Bayern supporters na community. I was so joke when
you say the last 4 games are winning Interbo was San Siro Ninano or Marini 3 Champions League. That's the only team manager. But Inter Milan for no 23 times of Marco area far results about field. And 21 they qualify. But Bako SK last season on Korea results. Ebetina fee Emma let Koji from Musam say no ebo mukoko. And the last time I Bayern Munich so yes I'm more about the tennis score line. It was against an Italian opponent, Lazio. Tisano mano Emma dynamics in kakra, but I don't trust Vincent Kompany. I don't trust him. This game where you know say he need to get the decision spot on Obeba. No about botodi. This is never be dia grow. And only a dia. Every had team your friend here Bayern Munich. And today is going to be another win for team your friend here Inter Milan. So we need your team as qualify. Bayern Munich out.
Mate, Merasi give it Mami Munich record net da hono. Say a ball UCL final no. Allianz Arena. So 1979 we know na Saturday Olympia Stadium. So